We've got new statements by the lovely Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick and a lot more to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, this is a really interesting clip from this video with Dr. Brian Keating right there. And what's interesting about it is that it gets a response by no other than Garry Nolan. So yeah, let's give a listen to what the lovely SK has to say.
The difference between scientific investigation and intelligence tradecraft is actually very thin. There's a lot of overlap between them. And in fact, we have a field in the intelligence called scientific and technical intelligence. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It's trying to understand what an adversary, what another country, what anybody else is investigating through their science and technology programs. And you do that by studying them, studying what they're putting out in the publication, studying what actions they're doing, trying to discern what are they actually researching. This is not very different from in that you have an unknown observation or phenomena and you're trying to understand what is that. And is it a threat? And do I really need to be worried about it? Or is it something else? The difference between scientific and...
Okay, well, I almost fell asleep through that. But let's go over what Garry Nolan has to say. He actually replied a couple times. I guess because I am not hunting for aliens, this podcast doesn't apply to me. Good, because I have better things to do. I am frankly shocked that Dr. Hair Professor Keating is wasting his time hunting aliens. We all know it's ridiculous. Not a shred of data whatsoever that's interesting. Zero eyewitnesses. Maybe the poet laureate Jason can write about this. It's far safer to be like SETI. Pretend they can prove something that's more than 100 light years away, looking for bacterial gas production or EM signatures of technology that aliens stopped using eons ago. That way we are never asked to provide definitive proof, just evidence. But we can get endless grants from NSF and titillate the mainstream press and write books. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And let's see. Brian Keating fires back, though. He says, thanks. Lots of angry people out there, despite my incorporating input from UFO maximalists. Okay, all right. Merrick von Rennenkamp replies, ignore the angry people, Dr. Brian Keating, and look at the repeatable, verifiable, and falsifiable data which corroborate high-confidence, multi-witness accounts by exhaustively trained service members. So yeah, Brian Keating giving the lovely Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, who we all know is totally on the level, a platform to spread his disinformation and, you know, talking about people hunting aliens, and we're all kind of foolish. Garry Nolan firing back on that, and you know, Professor Brian Keating not sitting down for that, but then Merrick von Rennenkamp pointing out that there is reliable, repeatable information, solid data about the reality of UFOs. They can't put a lid on this anymore, guys. The truth is out. Sean Kirkpatrick is left with giving bad debunks of, you know, wonderful events like the gimbal event because he doesn't have any good debunks left. He says it's the flare off the sun at night. That's a bad debunk, guys. That's an extremely bad debunk, but that's because it can't be otherwise debunked. There's no good debunks left. They're forced to retreat into this really almost kind of imbecilic debunking of these events. As I was joking about, you know, Sean Kirkpatrick being the Inspector Clouseau of UFOs right now, slipping on banana peels in his effort to disprove the reality of UFOs. Meanwhile, Representative Tim Burchett sits down with Jaime Maussan to talk about the Nazca mummies. Now, this is an AI dubbing of this interview, and it's going to be weird to watch Tim's AI dub voice, but here goes. Tim talking about the most important thing to hit UFOs in forever. We've got bodies, y'all. We've got bodies.
We have done research in Peru on tridactyl creatures. Would you be interested in this topic? Absolutely. And I would also be interested in getting some people to analyze those bodies that were independent of the federal government. If we could bring them to the U.S., what would we do? Would you be interested in getting involved in this? Absolutely. I would help you to find someone to analyze them. That's very important to a lot of people, you know. Yes, sir. I will bring you many x-rays, tomographies, whatever you need to take them to any university, to any scientist you want to have your own results. And maybe because it is what it is, they will tell you they are real. And if they do, at that point you can be absolutely certain that this case is real. And it is very important because we, the civil society of the world, have these bodies. These bodies do not belong to any government or are not in the hands of the Peruvian government. We have 7 bodies, humanoid bodies with 3 fingers, no ears, reptilian skin, horizontal fingerprints, and so many details that tell us they are not human. But we need a champion like you to make it all real in the US and in the world. Can we count on you? Yes, I'm happy to help you. My scientific side ended in about 1980 in high school, but we'll be looking for the most important people in the world right here in Tennessee. The University of Tennessee is my alma mater. Wherever it is best, where it is best. Okay, thank you. Thank you, brother.
Love it. So Tim Burchett stepping up to be the champion of the Nazca mummies. Will this actually happen? Man, I hope so. This is huge, guys, or this could be huge. Big if true. Big if it actually happens. If Tim Burchett gets involved in the study or organizing the study of the Nazca mummies, this could blow the lid off of everything, guys. This is proof of alien presence on Earth. These guys didn't spring out of a hole in the ground. Well, they did spring out of a hole in the ground, but they were put there by some Dr. Frankenstein that didn't come from here. And that's the way it is, guys. And I can't wait to learn more about these amazing specimens, how they interacted with the humans of the time. Who were these guys? What were they doing? What was their purpose? Why were there so many different varieties of them created? What were the implants for? Was there a caste system? Where do their originators come from? What's it all about, guys? What's it all about? Will we ever get any answers? I sure hope so. But either way, Tim Burchett is stepping up to be the champion of this cause, and I love it. Okay, moving on to something I don't love is the overt censorship and suppression of Cosmic Road by YouTube. It has gotten very frustrating. People's comments being deleted all the time. People being unsubscribed without their knowledge. Please check your subscription status. Make sure you hit the bell to be notified of future videos. Sometimes people don't get notified of videos, so it's a good idea to check the channel regularly to see if there's anything that you've missed. But it's very frustrating, this overt interference with the channel of Cosmic Road. But lately they have stepped it up a notch. Now I'm getting hate speech warnings when I go and try to post a comment. Check this out. I tried to post a comment on one of John Bill's videos. They're just saying, great video. I got slapped with this, commenting pause to protect the community. They're protecting the community against me, against Cosmic Road. Hate speech policies. I've never put anything political or any hate speech in any of these comments. They're all just, great video or, whatever. Thanks for the great video, guys. Yeah, that's, the only comment I would ever post outside of the channel. All the other comments I've ever posted have just been on the channel, interacting with you guys. No hate speech. Except maybe against the lovely SK. But yeah, they are coming after me, guys. They're stepping things up a bit. And I heard one of the viewers of the channel, I don't know if you want to be named, so I won't name you, but say that he had the same thing. He got a hate speech warning as well when he tried to post a comment. So yeah, it's frustrating, guys. I think I'm going to start branching out from YouTube a little bit. I'm going to try to explore different options. If any of you guys know anything about, other platforms like Spotify, and if you can link to like a Spotify for Dummies kind of thing, that'd be great. I don't know anything about other platforms. I'm also going to do a Patreon. So if anybody knows a good Patreon for Dummies, that'd be super helpful, because I'm a big dummy and I don't know how to do that. But I am going to learn. I'm going to stretch my wings and fly, because I am tired of this censorship. But I'm going to continue, obviously, doing the channel on YouTube. But it is frustrating, guys. It's getting old, guys. It's getting old. Meanwhile, I love to show John Bell's videos, but one of the really intriguing things about his contacts is that the military, the government, seems to know about them. At least they know about the UFOs in that area. And since a lot of the activity is centered around John, orbs flying around him, hitting his truck, and so on, I wonder if they're aware of him personally, and, if he is somehow, central to this. But check this out. So he's videoing UFOs. And, he's this bright, low, relatively low object in the sky. And it seems like there's some other thing going on over there, right there, excuse me. Very interesting. And shortly after this, a plane comes by. And he believes, because this is not the first time this has happened, as we'll see in a moment, that the planes were sent by, the control group, I guess, to either study or intercept the UFOs, or to somehow discourage them from showing up. Here's the plane. Check it out. He says the planes typically have a pod under their wing, and you can see how relatively low flying it is. We'll see some more of the plane activity in just a second. Check it out. Here we go. Okay, wrong video. Here we go. I got more plane with the pod under the wing. Here we go. Check it out. What is up with these planes? What are they doing? Are they trying to drive the UFOs away? Are they trying to communicate with the UFOs? Are they, studying them? You can see this thing under one of the wings. An unusual feature on these particular planes that are doing something with these UFOs over John's head. And look at this plane is coming right over John's head. So what are these planes doing? What is this pod for? If anybody has any clues what the control group is doing with these planes, let me know in the comments below. Meanwhile, this is super cool. Getting back to the Nazca mummies, we've got a paper here, a research paper by Dr. Ricardo Rangel, who I am hoping to get on the channel. I'm in communication with him, but he's a busy guy, and I haven't been able to schedule an interview with him yet, but hopefully that'll happen soon, and hopefully we can talk about this paper. Maybe that's what he was waiting for. It's a study of the Nazca mummy DNA, guys. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to do a deeper dive in this. Hopefully I can get my wife, the molecular biologist, involved in this, and get her take on this, and come back to you with some more informed opinions. But I just wanted you to give you a heads up, guys. There is now a research paper available about the Nazca mummy DNA. This is awesome, guys. Meanwhile, Vicky Verma is sharing the story of Scott Castle. Now, I have gone over this story before, but it's been a long time. But I want to go over it again because it is a super juicy and really interesting encounter with an underwater UFO, a USO. And it's different from, any other encounter. So let's go over it really quickly because it bears repeating. If I can say it. If I can say it, guys. Scott Castle, underwater explorer with over 15,000 hours logged, encountered an intelligent gold cube USO and lost $50,000 in sponsorship after the incident. Scott shares his extraordinary encounter and talking about this interview right here. with a USO. He describes a gold-colored, intelligently driven cube, approximately 3 feet in size, suspended off the ocean floor. The cube emitted a shimmering, moving light and was accompanied by a unique rumbling sound. Castle recounts his initial fear and feeling of being toyed with as he observed the cube. He notes the cube's unusual movement, traveling at his swimming speed before quickly bolting away without creating any water disturbance. After the encounter, Castle performed a self-assessment to ensure he wasn't experiencing any neurological issues or hallucinations. Concluding that his perception was real, he confided in his sponsor, who abruptly ended their 10-year partnership, resulting in a $50,000 loss in sponsorship. Castle's experience remains unexplained. We don't get too many USO encounters. We really don't. And this one really stands out, this weird gold cube. And for anybody that wants to accuse experiencers of grifting or money grubbing, the dude lost $50,000 just for, telling a sponsor about it. A really great case, really interesting case. Obviously, it'd be an even greater case if there were a video or something like that of it. But it's a really unusual encounter and gives us an idea of some of what may be waiting for us under the waves. Obviously, there's so much UFO or USO activity in the ocean, coming and going from the water, possibly beings living in the water, possibly using the water as a medium to come and go from bases deep under the ground. It's unclear exactly, why they come and go from the water. Some of them do interact with the water directly. There's, accounts like Ingo Swann will give one account of them, sucking water up into UFOs. Really interesting stuff. Unclear what any of it is all about. But I just wanted to bring the story to you if you hadn't heard it already. Man encountering a gold cube underwater that seems to toy with him and then zips away without leaving a disturbance in the water. Meanwhile, what the heck is this thing? What is this thing, guys? Yeah, that's not a pretty picture. That's not a pretty picture. Here's the top of it. But this was found in the Paracas region of Peru and has been shared by Brian Forster. But it is a weird looking specimen, guys. I mean, we're familiar with the elongated skull beings of Paracas, but we're not familiar with any other beings that look like this. I don't think. If you've seen a similar looking being, let me know. And let me know how to avoid it. I kid. I'm sure you were a handsome fella in life. But really unusual being here. From this angle, it looks almost fish-like. Unclear, what it would have looked like in life. I would love somebody to be able to do some sort of reconstruction on this thing and see if we can, figure out what it actually looked like. But just a really intriguing specimen, seemingly a genuine non-human specimen of some variety. It's got this ridge on the top of it. You're probably not going to get that with a genetic mutation of a human. That's a very unusual feature. And it's got this kind of, I guess you could call it elongated, but an interesting shaped head, with almost kind of like a snout. What do you make of this really unusual head, and how does it relate to the elongated skull beings of Paracas? Meanwhile, since the Lionsgate portal thing was a few days ago, if you weren't aware of it, the alignment of the stars and the cosmos with the Lionsgate, I did a special meditation. Thank you, Peter Maxwell Slattery, for providing on his channel a really cool Lionsgate meditation for that. And thank you, Dennis, for pointing that out to me. Really neat. But did you know there's actually a Lionsgate in the real world? Megaliths of the Phrygian Valley, today the territory of Turkey. This megalith shows 2 leaping animals, most probably a tiger or a lion. It looks more lion-like to me, but let me know what you guys think. Plus a square notch in the middle. Yeah, and of course, in Tartary and Antiquity, has to have the snarky comment, but probably appropriate. This was, of course, done 1,000 years ago with a hammer and chisel, and it was simply for beauty. Yeah, it served no purpose. Well, I mean, it could have been done for beauty. I'm not going to discount, there's lots of art that has been done for beauty, but that is an awful lot of work to go into a thing, which is so singular and does have this portal-like thing right in the face of it between these two lion-like beings. So if you have any information on this highly unusual structure and whether it does relate directly to the Lionsgate portal, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. There are definitely some interesting mysteries in the ancient world. Let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the like button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, become a channel member, become a rock star like this guy right here. Man, he really is kicking butt. I love it. You could also buy one of my books. I'm a novelist. I write science fiction, fantasy, and horror. See the link below. Or you can buy some merch. I've got t-shirts, I got coffee mugs, and other stuff in the merch store below, so check that out. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.